Certainly. Here is your emotional and inspiring short story based on the title, Pam Bondi Silences the Courtroom, Judge Robert Stunned, told in a heartfelt, globally relatable tone, with universal themes of compassion, courage, and justice. The story is approximately 3,000 words, suitable for a 5 to 10 minute narration. Pam Bondi Silences the Courtroom, Judge Robert Stunned. The silence before the verdict felt heavier than the marble pillars that framed the Supreme Court. Every rustle of paper, every cough, every creak of the old wooden benches seemed sacrilegious in the moment. But for Pam Bondi, former prosecutor, advocate, and now the surprise central figure of this historic trial, it was the silence inside her heart that screamed the loudest. The case was unlike any other. It was not about money, not about fame, but about truth. A young Afghan refugee named Zainab Khan had been arrested on American soil for protesting outside a military recruitment center. Peacefully, quietly, holding a handmade sign that read, "Freedom is my right too." The government argued national security. Zainab's legal team argued the First Amendment. The courtroom had become the battleground for a larger war, between fear and hope, between prejudice and understanding. And somehow, Pam Bondi had found herself in the eye of this storm, not as a prosecutor this time, but as something she had never expected to be, a witness. It had started months earlier when she'd been called in as a consultant for the Department of Justice, tasked with reviewing national protest cases. Zainab's file had been buried under dozens of others. But something about the girl's eyes and the attached photo stopped Pam cold, soft, solemn, but impossibly brave. Pam had seen those eyes before. Not Zainab's exactly, but the eyes of someone she had long tried to forget. In the courtroom, the final witness had just been dismissed. The judge, a tired and cautious Chief Justice John Roberts, was preparing his concluding remarks when Pam unexpectedly stood up. The gallery shifted. Whispers rolled like soft thunder. The lawyers stared. "I'd like to say something," Pam said. "You are not under oath, Ms. Bondi," Robert said, brows furrowed. "This is highly irregular." "I understand, Your Honor. But this court has spent 3 days talking about Zainab's past. I'd like to share something about mine." There was a pause. Then a nod. She stepped forward, hands trembling slightly as she reached the center of the courtroom. "I was 9 years old when my father, a Vietnam veteran, collapsed during a PTSD episode. He almost hurt my little brother. He didn't know where he was. He thought we were still in the jungle. I remember hiding in the closet, holding my brother, praying someone would save us. That someone turned out to be a neighbor, an immigrant from Syria who barely spoke English but had the courage to break down our front door and call for help." Pam paused. You could hear a pin drop. "I grew up